Hi, my name is Donald. I'm 74 years old. I'm a retired physician. And ever since I was introduced to this technology, when I started, I was taking 190 units of insulin a day, two types of insulin twice a day. Now I take 50. About 6 weeks into the process, I realized I was giving myself too much insulin, so I started cutting back. A couple of months ago, I was told by my doctors at the VA hospital that my body is now producing insulin, something it hasn't done since 1997. Along the way, I'm a veteran. I was a participant in the Southeast Asian War Games in the mid and late 60s. I was there for 3.5 years. And in the process, I came home with all kinds of problems that did not manifest themselves immediately, but as time went on, they did. I no longer take either one of my blood pressure medications. I no longer take my statin. I no longer take or use my hearing aids, all of which, thanks to this technology, have been alleviated. I don't need them anymore. What I'm going to tell you is that if I had known about this technology when I got home from Vietnam in 1969, I never would have gone through pre-med and gone through med school. I would have started with this technology and I would still be with it today. Now, I went to med school, but I didn't go to med school in this country. I went to med school overseas where we learned medicine as a whole instead of in fragmented parts where everybody's pitted against each other. So I was trained in chiropractic, I was trained in homeopathy, I was trained in naturopathy, just not under those names, but it was the training. And I never practiced medicine in this country because I don't like the system here. I practiced all over the world, working for the World Health Organization for almost 40 years. I was introduced to this technology in 1999 in Hamburg, Germany, where I was doing an inspection of a hospital. And they showed it to me, and they told me that back then they put people on the unit for 8 hours a day. And they were having results, and I agreed with them, but I couldn't see any future in something that you had to lay on for 8 hours. Then last year in October, two friends of mine literally kidnapped me and took me to a training class. And the training class is where I learned about it. I got on the unit, I used it. 5 hours later, I did it again. And about a minute into the second session, I could feel my feet and legs. They were like I was slipping them into warm water. And for the first time since the early 90s, I could actually feel my feet and feel my legs. That was my neuropathy. Since then, I have no more neuropathy. And back last year in October, 4 weeks after I started with this technology, I went in for my annual eye exam, and I've had for 12 years a dead spot in my right retina. About 12% of the retina was dead, no blood flow. I went, they did another, they call it retinal mapping, they did it. And 5 weeks later, I went back to see my retinologist who was getting ready to remove a cataract and implant a lens. And she says to me after she's looked me over, she says, "I'm going to do another retinal mapping." And I said, "Why? You just did one 5 weeks ago." She said, "Just bear with me, we're going to do it." She comes in, she puts them up on a large screen and says, "Do you see any difference in these last two as opposed to the 12 before?" And yeah, I did. The one that they did at my annual exam was about 50% improved. I had, instead of 12% area, I had 6% area of my eye that had blood flow. The one she had done just moments before, I had 100% blood flow. Do I believe that this technology works? Yes, I believe it works.